Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a commander deck tech on Kalamax the Stormsire. Now this is a pretty hot commander, a lot of people liking it. Good for casual, good for competitive. The idea is just simple spell slinging, copying, having a good time. So we're in Temur, 4 mana, 4/4 elemental dinosaur. Whenever you cast the first instant spell each turn, include your opponents. If Kalamax the Stormsire is tapped, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Whenever you copy an instant spell, you put a counter on him. So you want to keep him tapped much as you can. Every turn, try and cast an instant, put a counter on him and get to copy it. And that's going to be the general deck plan. We have the ways to abuse these counters, we try to get through, sneak the damage in, and we'll go through it. So first up is copying effects, to play with his copying effect. Melik lets us play for the top of our library, and if it's instant or sorcery, we get to cast it and copy it. A little bit more advantage and reach there. 1000-Year Storm, literally copying storm effects. It lets you build up and go crazy. Entwining Staff lets you copy a spell at additional time if you are copying spells, so it works great with your commander, hence why it's in the deck. But you can also pay 7 mana in addition to copy another spell if you need to. God Eternal lets you reveal first card you draw each turn. If it's instant or sorcery, you can play it with a reduction of 2, but you're playing it through a copy. The original one still goes to your hand, so copy and extra draw in a sense. Plus Kefnet's a pain to remove. Now trying to keep your commander tapped down is key, because other than attacking, you want to have a safer way to tap your commander. So Crew is actually a really good mechanic to use here. Smuggler's Copter does give you some card advantage. I love the flagship because it can enter or attack and it gets a lightning bolt something. And Crew 3, your commander is at least a power 4, works for well there. Burning Anger. Gonna say, never thought of using it as a commander. Enchant the creature, it has tap, it deals damage to its power to target creature or player. Your command is growing bigger and bigger across the game because of all the copying you're doing. So eventually your command can actually hit for 7 and 8. That's kinda scary, you can burn most creatures dead. And since we are a heavy spell slinging deck, we've got a bit of a splash theme. So with Rattle, it's actually whenever you cast or copy instants of sorceries. So you actually get a little bit extra damage there, deal the damage to target opponent or planeswalker, so just chip away at their life. He brings a bit of scry and you also can copy as well, which is nice. While Gutter Snipe, Thermal Alchemist and their field all let us deal damage to opponents when we're playing our instant sorcery, so just a pain for him to deal. In addition, the Alchemist in the field have got pretty fat butts, so they become good defenders. We have a little bit of a token sub theme, kind of another way to win. I've gone with Talrand, the Murmuring Mystic and Shark Typhoon. Few reasons. All of them produce flying tokens, just kind of a form of evasion for your opponent to deal with. The Mystic has got a fat butt, a 1/5, so hard for your opponent to kill. And the Typhoon isn't actually instant sorcery cast to generate tokens. It's all non-creature spells, so that's a big chunk of your deck. And they scale depending on the CMC. So leading on to the actual instance of the deck, this will be the meat of it. This is where you're going to copy spells, you're going to extend the deck's reach, and just get most of the advantage out of it. I've got Deflecting Swat here because it's kind of cheap compared to the other ones. It does come in the deck, which is nice, and lets you redirect something. And with your commander, if there's a big stat going on, you can have multiple deflections going. Mystical Tutor becomes 2 tutors with the commander. That's pretty good. Lets you get an instant sorcery from your deck, and considering a 30-year deck is instant sorceries, good card to have. Next to the phase, the only instant spell that lets you have an extra turn, goes back into your deck, and well, if you dupe it with the commander, ooh, that's some good value. I love the mode cards. Things you need to know with them: when you select the modes too are copied. This is the thing with copying mechanics. On a side note, doing commander deck tech, I had to keep up looking at the rules. What happens when you copy Kicker? What happens when you copy modes? What happens when you copy X spells? The commander brings up a lot of questions. So when you copy a mode card, you got to copy the modes too. So if you're choosing counterspell options, you can have a lot of counterspell targets stacking onto the one target. But that's the good thing about these mode cards. You can choose the counterspell, then draw cards or bounce things. You really get to select what you're going to do. But you got to remember, if you're copying with the commander, you got to think, alright, what am I actually going to do? Am I going to have 2 counterspells target the same thing? Am I going to draw 2 cards? You have to kind of be careful. Other ones here with mode: Supreme Will, you can counterspells or dig 4 deep. You've got Temur Charm, which can fight and buff, counterspell or non-block. Probably not going to pick that one. Izzet Charm, non-creature spell, counterspell, damage and draw, discard 2. Then a bit of a burn theme: Electro Dominance, big X spell. Whatever X is copied 2 with the commander's effect. So if you pay X is 10 here, the copy through your commander will also be 10. Deals X damage to any target. It's a good burn spell, go to the face probably. And you may cast a card with CMC X or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Any card, not instant sorcery, remember that. Comet Storm, it's kind of a good burn, trying to finish the game there if you want to. Attackers command, you're probably going to go with the non-life gain and the damage if you want to, or double land ramp could be pretty fun. Now Fight with Fire is an instant speed, it is sorcery, but it is the burn, so I've kind of just chucked it on the end here. With Kicker, the rules do state if the original spell was kicked, the copy 2 is kicked. We do have a couple cards later on that lets copy spells, and we have other mechanics that let us do it too. So your commander might not get to hit it, but you'll have other ways to do it. So if you copy it while it's kicked at 9 mana, you get to splash 2 lots of 10 damage divided, so pretty much 20 damage divided on the board. That's pretty spicy. Some just good ones: Soulfire, target creature control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Remember, your commander's growing the more we're casting these instant spells. Eventually commander can just go, alright, 7 damage, alright, let's do it again, another 7 damage. Lightning Bolt, what's better? 2 Lightning Bolts. Chaos Swap can be really good fun with the commander. You get to remove 2 permanents back into the library and 2 random chances, or have a bit of fun, target your own stuff, get a bit gambly. Into more artifact enchantment removal, Abrade, you know the options, bolt a creature or destroy an artifact. Hull Breach, you get to destroy an artifact, enchantment, or both, really good one to have duplicated there. Artifact Mutation, you wreck an artifact and you get tokens equal to its CMC. Or Snap, you bounce a creature back to its owner's hand and you get to untap 2 lands. So in a way it can be a bit of a ramp spell too if you get to duplicate it with the commander. Pyroblast, look, you don't run hate cards of one color in commander, really, not too often. But blue is such a competitive color and it's just everywhere. The odds are Pyroblast times 2 is pretty good. And for Curious Herd, you choose a target opponent, you get a 3/3 beast token for each artifact they control. Artifacts are just staples in the format. There's a good chance you're going to get a huge army out of it that might win you the game. Kind of leading into the draw theme too. Brainstorm and Opt are instant cantrips, they're going to work well with the commander. They're nothing too spicy, but just a bit extra value. Frantic Search lets you draw 2 then discard 2, but untap 3 lands, that's why we got it here. Chemist's Insight, 4 mana, draw 2 cards is okay, but it's instant speed, but it has a jump start, so we get another round of it. So with the commander, you could actually use it really 4 times in a way. Dig Through Time, it's a pretty good draw spell with a good full graveyard too in this deck. Return of the Wild Speaker is a great card to have, probably best green draw in this deck. You get to pick an options of buffing all your non-humans by 3/3, or draw cards equal to the greatest power amongst your non-humans. Well, your commander is a dinosaur, not human, but it's at least a 5/5 when you cast this, so if you get to duplicate it then, for 5 mana you're drawing 10 cards at least. That seems pretty good to me. Now these are copy spells, which will work with Fight with Fire and everything else in the deck really. Expansion and Explosion, that's a burn, draw and a copy all in one option there, tons of variety. Increasing Vengeance is a copy with an additional copy built on through Flashback, and Reverberation is just simple one-time copy. Now with the commander's counters, they do build up and just grow across the length of the game. I kind of wanted to find a way to use them other than just smashing with a big old dinosaur. Sage of Fables, you pay 2 mana, you rip a counter off it, draw a card. Not a bad option. And Ion Storm, a card I want to try and modern so many times. You pay 2 mana, remove a counter, deal 2 damage to any target. Good way to peck away at planeswalkers and kill smaller creatures. Now just into general supporting themes. Because we are instant deck, we do want to play on opponent's turns. Seabourn Muse is a pretty good option on tapping all our permanents, so all our mana sources each turn. Wavebreak Hippocamp, whenever we cast our first spell during each opponent's turn, we get to draw a card, so it does encourage playing on your opponent's turn. Baral and Goblin Electromancer are just here for a reductions effect. Lightning Greaves and Whisper Silk Cloak are just protection. Plus the cloak on your commander gives it unblockable, and if it's growing pretty big and bigger and bigger and bigger, it could go for commander damage, could be an option. Chandra's Ignition is a board wipe. I didn't think we needed one in this deck because we've got a lot of counter spells, burn and whatnot, but it doesn't hurt to have it just in case. It will kill everything but your commander, hopefully. Its Thing in the Ice is just a random creature, works well with the deck. Every instant sorcery you're casting, removing ice counters from him, remove enough, you flip it, bounces all non-horrors back to everyone's hands, and it's a big threat for your opponent to deal with. Ramp is simple. Cultivate isn't instant speed, but it's just a good card to have. Crop Rotation, Harrow and Growth Spiral all instant speed, so you can duplicate them with the commander. They're all forms of actual land ramp in this deck. Plus we got Birds of Paradise, because turn 1, it's so good. Finally, Honor Worn Jakku is actually a usable artifact. You get to tap an untap legend to untap it. So you can use this to tap down your commander, so it can be active to copy effects, and you're producing more mana out of it. Love it. Got another crew card here, Through the Caravan. You can just crew it, tap your commander down, and you can still tap it for mana. Of course, Commander Sphere, any color you need, and a draw. Chromatic Lantern makes your land's base perfect. Got a Soul Ring because it's commander. Now leading into lands, we're nearly at the end. These two are very important, the settlement and the encampment. Just janky commons by any other means, but you can tap a creature to produce any colour you need, or tap for generic. Another way in the land slot to keep your commander tapped and active for copying effects. Arcane Lighthouse is a must-have in this kind of deck. It makes your opponent and all their creatures lose Hexproof and Shroud. You need that so you can target them with all your instants and spells. Reptile, we do draw a ton of cards, so it's a good thing to have. Rogue's Passage makes the creature unblockable. Like I said earlier, if your commander is getting really big with all its counters on it, commander damage is an option. And Kessig Wolf Run, similar theme as that. You can give a creature X0 and trample. So if you build up your commander with a ton of counters or a ton of power just through another means, sink a ton into it and just try and trample on and get the commander damage kill. Now Command Tower, the Triome, the Frontier and the Orchard, they're all kind of your catch-all color lands. Nothing here too expensive. I think the Triome is the most expensive right now. For your colored lands, I've tried to play nice. We're not running shock lands or fetch lands, they're just too expensive to do it. So you got your 3 pain lands, you got your 3 temples, your 3 buddy lands, you got your 3 life gain lands. They need to print another one of these. We've got our 2 draw lands here, so the Fiery Islet and with the Watered Log Grove, you can sack them to draw a card, and Myriad Landscape for a bit of land retrieval. And then we run 3 of each basic. Right, so that's Kalamax. It's a very fun, simple spell slinging deck. Realistically, you can build this deck however you want. Some people might want to put more counter spells in it, some people want to do more burn. I personally like more mode cards in it because I think it's kind of fun and more challenging to think, oh, okay, how do I stack all these effects on? I like that. Everyone can do it their own way because instants are everywhere, they're so common, especially in those 3 colors. And you'd think, if a 30-year deck can get duplicated just by your commander basically being present, that seems pretty good to me. I think people really do enjoy this commander. It's fun, it's going to be applicable for a long time. So let me know your thoughts, guys, and have a good one. Goodbye. If you guys enjoyed that video, please like it helps out the channel a lot and pushes the video through YouTube's algorithm, and only about 10% of my viewers are subbed, so consider joining us. We're having a lot of growth. To my patrons, you guys are amazing. What do you think about the big old stompy dinosaur?